So, Habib, his own people were opposing him, trying to calm things down because they wanted to continue rather than yield to what you had succeeded in procuring, that it was not going further, right?
Not exactly, but it's only good to confirm where the problem was coming from. The fact that the majority leader is coming down his people, which they refuse to actually listen to my majority leader, and the leader of the house is an indication where the problem started from. And if I may just give you a background, I'm a member of...
I need just your quick thoughts around it. I want to do something. We'll go to our guests, they speak, you hear them, what they have to say about you and your conduct before we hear you. So very quickly, I'm a member of the appointment committee by the virtue of the fact that I'm a leader of the house. You're supposed to be ranking.
No, I'm not the ranking.
No, deputy ranking.
No, the minority leader.
Okay.
I'm the first deputy minority chief whip.
Okay.
And then under Standing Order 2177, the leadership of the House are members of the appointment committee. So I was there. In fact, what actually started the whole issue was to the effect that that very day, the minority, we have always compromised. And you are in the media, a recap of how governments have been set up. This is the fastest ever. About 30 ministers have been vetted and set up. It is unprecedented because we cooperated with them. We had to even stand down Standing Order 3, that when the president sends the list, it goes to the speaker, he comes to the floor, refer it to the appointment committee. We stand down the standing orders for this to happen. That very fateful day.
As in the advertisement.
In the advertisements. And the fact that even the formal communication from the presidency, the speaker had to read it on the floor and refer it to the committee. You could see that it doesn't happen.
So that normally there would have been some space for people to make an input, then you use the people's input to do the vetting.
Yes, so that's good faith on the part of the minority because we want to help the majority set up their government quickly. The second part we compromise is that under our standing orders in 2173, sector committees head, that the leadership of the sector committee, for example, if we are vetting the education minister, the ranking, vice-ranking, chairman and vice-chairman are to be co-opted into the appointment committee. Our committees are not set up in Parliament yet because it's just a new ninth Parliament. We said we'll appoint just the leaders so that we can aid them to do the vetting. On that very fateful day, we agreed that we were going to vet 3 people. We went on conclave. I was there. We agreed that we were going to vet Rashid Pelpo for the fact that he is senior. He's a 5th timer or so, or 6th timer. He's a former leader of the House. So we give him that respect. And we say we'll vet him. Then after that, we'll vet Murtala Mohammed, the Minister for Environment. And after that, we'll do some George. That was the 3 we were going to do the day. Then they came to plead that Honorable Akando, the Health Minister designate, his people came from the Western North.
Yeah.
They've been here.
I heard one of the chiefs complaining very bitterly.
So for that matter, we should add him. We compromised and we said that there's no problem. Let's add Akando.
So that made 4.
That made 4. So we started vetting of Rashid Pepo. It was done. Murtala was done. Sam George was done. Then they said, oh.
Sam George was done after 5 hours.
Yes. Then they said, they said that is not new.
Yeah, it's not new, yeah.
Former finance minister was vetted for 2 days.
That's correct.
It's not new. So then they said we should bring in Kofi Adams.
It was vetted over 2 days, not for 2 days.
Over 2 days.
Yeah.
Thanks for that correction. And then we said, okay, no problem, bring in Kofi Adams, Minister for Sports. Then we vetted him, making it 4. Then they come back to tell us that, oh, Nikpe, the Minister for Transport is there. Let's vet him too. We agree, and we vetted the Minister for Transport. Then we were tired. From 10 up to about 10 p.m., 10:30. Then what is the purpose of the vetting? People who are even following us, who are listening to us, at 10:30, who will be following you again? Then you were insisting that we should vet Akando and vet Ablakwa and 2 others to make it 10. Then we said no. For that one, we are tired. It will not happen. Then their mantra is that they are 183, and we are 88. So if we will not participate, we should walk out. But they should know that this parliament, we will never walk out.
You said that at your press conference.
We will never walk out. We will be there and make sure that our voices are heard.
You'll be there and cause chaos.
No, we don't cause chaos.
No, the question is, if you will not participate in a process, you walk out or you sit quiet?
No. If there is no agreement, like in this case, we have compromised from day one, helping them. That very day, we vetted 5. It's not like we did not participate. 5 instead of 3. Then you are saying that you are adding additional 5 to make it 10 on that day. What is the purpose of that?
24-hour economy. Allow them, if you are not interested, walk out, because they say they still have a quorum, they have their numbers, they want to continue. So walk out and leave them to do their work. But you say you will not walk out.
And you will not allow it to.
And you will not allow it to happen.
Sammy,
what that means is that you are going to use fiscal force.
No, Samson, if you watch the videos very well, when the chairman is seated, the minority is to his left and the majority is to his right.
Correct.
Ask yourself, where did the problem come from? The problem was coming from the left because the majority attacked the minority, and all the tables that were being done was from the minority side. Watch the video very well. If we were to cause the problem, we were attacking them. We were going to the speaker right, where the deputy majority leader is seated and the rest. And you see that the problem will start there. But they rather came to where the minority were seated. Watch the video very well.
We saw
watch where
those of them sitting at Jerry Ahmed's place. Anodonpre actually issued the instructions that they should dismantle the tables.
Nobody issued any instructions.
No, he did. He did.
No. You have already...
He said, dismantle the tables, do it, and they were doing it.
You see, you know Frank Anodonpre very well. And even 3 or 4 days ago, my respected senior here was here to defend an issue involving somebody.
Oliver Bakavomo.
There was an issue with Anodonpre. Anodonpre is a 4th-time MP. He has been very calm in his 16 years in Parliament. He is not a troublemaker. Even that day, if you look at his reaction when he was verbally attacked by the lady, you will know that he's a true gentleman. He will never start a fight. And he has been, in the majority side, there was 2, in the 8th Parliament, there was 2 main issues. The election of the speaker, and then the e-levy when the first deputy speaker was attacked. Right. Anodonpre was the majority whip. Did you see him appearing in?
But at least let's be faithful to the facts in this case. He's the one also asking for chairs to be put on the tables and close up, the tables, and we can hear him say it, and they do it.
I told you, this is not the first time. The majority side, even on the floor of Parliament, if you follow proceedings on a certain Friday, the minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Markins, because one of the MPs on the NDC side said, let's beat them up. He said it on the floor of Parliament and said that he should desist. That was Ashama MP. He called it out. And then it was Mama Ayerga. I respect him as the leader of the House. He's very calm. He believes in negotiation and for us to be able to solve problems amicably. He said, let's beat them up. That day, that was the same posture they said. Let's beat them up. That's, you beat who? We are
you held the press conference the next day, and Afenyo Markins said, we are few, but a mighty few. You will never walk out. It's not going to be part of your policy. But you will stay and insist that right is done. That's the question I'm asking. It means you are going to use fiscal force.
No. Samson, do you think on that very day that we were supposed to vet 3, we ended up vetting 5, right. And at the same time, they were still insisting we should vet additional 5. Do you think it's right? Do you think it's right? Do you think...
you have been doing it by consensus.
And there was no consensus in this.
And this is
in this instance.
And this is a democratic process.
What is the purpose?
Where consensus does not win, there's a vote that has to go on. So you participate in the vote. If you lose the vote, you continue. If you lose the vote, you don't want to continue, you boycott. Is that not what you're supposed to do? On the record, the chairman of the committee, who is the first deputy speaker, refused to even suspend for 1 minute for us to have conclave and discuss the path that you are talking. Because if after these problems was to solve the problem, the chairman of the committee could suspend for like even 1 or 2 minutes. So he was imposing rather than
trying to reach out. Then he could say, okay, let's suspend and let's go on to conclave. Then when we go on conclave, okay, we shouldn't continue. Say, okay, let's continue. Okay, then if that's the case, let's vote. We didn't even go to that stage.
I see.
They think that they could force their way through. They think that the right thing to do was to attack the minority. And that's why the minority leader saying that we are mighty few. Yeah. We will definitely not be intimidated. Walking out of the 9th Parliament is not part of
the Speaker has issued, penalties. suspension to these members. They are not only MPP members. NDC is involved here. You have issued a tall statement in which you attack the speaker that what he's doing is wrong and that you are challenging his decision and you are not going to allow him to do that.
Yes, Samson, as much as I condemn the act of violence, because we are members of parliament, we're supposed to be role models, what actually happened there is rather unfortunate, and we are remorseful. And, you know, on behalf of the minority caucus, we are actually sorry about the violent nature.
Yeah, even individual members. I heard Jerry, others, they issued their own apology.
So yeah. I apologize as a leader, you know, on behalf of my colleagues, that this very individual, they are not violent by nature. I have spoken about Frank Anodompe. Hassan Tampuli, as you said, you handed over to him. He has been in the house. This is his second term. Tampuli have always been calm. He's very respected. He's not a violent person. Even the too violent that, okay, Tampuli will not necessarily get involved. He will argue. You know, you lawyers, you like to argue rather than to be physical. Jerry Ahmed is a first-time MP. He too is the same thing. What we are saying is that we, as much as the speaker is the head of the institution under Order 20 and preside over these issues, and he tried to bring calm, but we are saying that the posture and the procedure he has adopted is very wrong in law.
You say it is partisan.
It's very, very partisan, because you watch the TV, the program, you were watching. Then you watch at the end of the day, then three minority members are suspended and one majority member is suspended. Definitely on the face of it, you'll be able to see that clearly. And more to the point, the speaker as the head of the institution does not have that power to suspend members of parliament. He doesn't, under the standing orders that we have.
He doesn't?
He doesn't have it, because you see, if you go and check, and the procedure and what he has done is too harsh. Because even our standing orders have given how members are supposed to be suspended. Now, Samson, you are a lawyer that I respect too much. And
have you better yourself to...
Wait.
Order
Hold on.
130.
Hold on.
No, I'll come to Order 130 and give you the details of Order 130.
Before that 130, you stay at Order 36.
32
you find something.
It starts from
35.
Order 32.
Right.
Order 32 before you get to 36, before you get to 130. Samson, even the Speaker's own statement and directive have already been violated by the majority, the NDC. They have already violated his order. Because one of the orders, I was in the chamber yesterday, in fact, you could see that
you were playing the Speaker's voice.
The Speaker had said that, for that matter, selection committee should meet immediately. I am a member of the selection committee, to reconstitute the appointment committee. And Speaker was saying that on the back of Order 217, where 217 clearly mentioned officers in terms of the composition of the appointment committee. And for the benefit, I'll just read part of it. It said, the appointment committee shall comprise the first deputy speaker as the chairman, the minority leader as ranking member, the deputy majority leader as vice chairman, and the following other members. 1, the majority chief whip. 2, the minority chief whip. So if the speaker had made directive on the floor saying that I have suspended these two, majority and minority, and for that matter, selection committee shall meet and then reconstitute the appointment committee. In the wisdom of the speaker, if these people are suspended, the appointment committee is not more properly constituted. It's not about quorum. It's about constituted. If it is quorum, that's where you mention the members that are there. But these are officers that have been mentioned, that the appointment committee should be made up of the first deputy speaker as the chairman, this and that, and these officers have been mentioned.
All right.
So, and he said today, that was what he said. So when the minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Markey, respected leader who led that very well, was in there, I came in and I told him that he should not continue, because if he continue, he's violating the order of the speaker. And for that matter, I was whipping him.
The Mahama Yarga gave the information that the speaker had said, he approached the speaker, and the speaker has said that the meeting that he called for the selection and everything, it's suspended until Monday.
But the point is that, Samson, if the speaker comes to make a public on his communication to the whole world, must he call an individual and tell him that, oh, what I said? He emphasized today, look for the video.
All right.
He said today, then must he call the majority leader alone, of which I am a member of that committee and other people are members
He didn't call him. He said he sort of accosted the speaker when the speaker was moving out and told the speaker that the vetting process was ongoing, so asking that there should be a meeting will not be possible. And the speaker said, okay, he was also going to the airport to see his wife off. Therefore, the meeting he had called for immediately should not happen, but happen on Monday.
Samson, do you think this is right? Do you think, in law, whether this was right? The fact that the speaker have come on the floor of parliament, make a statement, very categorical, that a selection committee should meet
today, so that's the point
and
you raised.
Reconstitute. Must you be approached by the majority leader?
So just speak to this issue before we move on, where you say the speaker doesn't have power. You say the speaker's decision is unilaterally to unilaterally suspend these 4 MPs without due process, without an opportunity for them to be heard under Article 19(1) of the Constitution, acting contrary to provisions of the standing orders, and without first exhausting internal disciplinary mechanisms, sets a dangerous precedent. It signals an era where the Speaker can arbitrarily punish members of Parliament based on perceived disobedience rather than adherence to parliamentary rules and fairness.
So, Samson, just even look at the communication from the Speaker, the order. He said, 1, that I am setting up a 7-member committee. He mentioned the name of the committee, and he went further to say that this committee is to investigate what happened yesterday, and any member who is found culpable or being involved, there will be punishment to that person, including properties damaged. They will pay for it.
They will be surcharged.
Good. They will surcharge. Then on the same line, then you went ahead to suspend 4 members on the same thing. That was the essence of the committee that you have set up to do.
In internal disciplinary proceedings, you can indict people, suspend them while the process goes on.
And then
when the process ends and they are exonerated, you reinstate them. If they are affected, then you increase or give them the sanctions.
Then the point is that why set up a committee to investigate to see who is involved and already crucify people for not even being heard, as you lawyers put it, the other party rule in Article 19(1). And our orders, he cannot suspend somebody under Order 130 for 2 weeks. Right. And if I may read, even if there is a contempt decision, where a member is found to be in contempt of Parliament under Order 129, the member shall be suspended immediately from the House, unless the House otherwise decide. The suspension shall be on the first occasion for 4 sitting days, the second occasion for 8 days, the third occasion for 12 days. Where from these 2 weeks? And then even if they are in contempt of Parliament, now contempt need to be
there will
established.
have to be a committee of privileges. Let me bring my guest in. There will have to be a privileges committee that will sit on it and decide whether somebody is in contempt. But you will agree that under Order 35, the Speaker has the power to direct a member to withdraw from the House. That one doesn't have to go through an investigation.
But he was not talking about withdrawal. He's talking about suspension.
That's correct. I understand you. All right. So let me go on and hear from the ladies. Let's begin with Rhoda Osei Afo. Rhoda, what's your commentary about what is going on in Parliament?